Hello friends, welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm not going to do a booktube video per se. I want to share with you a little bit about two of the journeys that I have embarked on, I started on September 1st. Really, I'm going to focus on one of them today. The one I'm not going to talk about as much today is my journey to weight loss. Now, I have had over the period of my life, I'm 56, I have had a few successful times of weight loss and several years in between that I have not been happy with my weight. So on September 1st, after a couple of months of transition and studying and learning about the diet that I wanted to do, I started the Eat to Live diet by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And I think I will do a weight loss related video. It'll just be a short check-in once a month. And so I won't go into details right now about what I have done so far for the first half of the month, but I have filmed a little bit, taken some photos of some of the foods and the recipes that I've tried, and I'll chat more about that at the end of the month. But today I want to talk about reselling or selling on eBay. That is something that I am still relatively new to, although my husband has been selling on eBay since 2015. I was supposed to start selling with him in 2015, but you guys know about that same time, in July of 2015 to be exact, I started this booktube channel, and I love it so much. I am not about to stop talking about books on this channel, but since my eBay, I don't want to call it a business even yet, but my eBay endeavors are new and are taking up a lot of my time, I thought I would just keep you up to date with what I'm doing, what I'm selling, how it's going, and if you are interested in coming along with me, then I would love that. I think I will start trying to do an update every week. I really had intended to start to do this video this past Saturday. The month started on a Wednesday, and I didn't really have enough under my belt. Well, I could have done a video that Saturday because I had 2 sales on my second day of selling on eBay. But I didn't get that done, and then I didn't get it done this past week, so I thought, okay, it's the midpoint of the month. Let me just go ahead and get something out there, and then after this, I think I will do just a quick eBay update and sort of make that a series, make it a playlist. And if you're interested in that, great. And if you're not, I will still be doing my same YouTube, booktube content that I have been. So let's get started. Just to give you a quick catch up, my husband started selling on eBay, and I think his first active listing, where he started really actively listing, was October of 2015. At that point, I had every intention of doing it with him. But I remember one day he was, he had set up a backdrop and he was taking pictures, and I had acquired a few things for him to sell, some books and whatnot, and he had acquired some things, and so he was taking pictures, and he said, here's a couple of books that you gave me, why don't you write the description, and he opened up the screen, on the computer, and he was still photographing, and he said, here, type up the description. I just remember hating that. I did not want to do it. It was drudgery. I would rather be doing anything else than sitting at the computer trying to type up details, the minutia of these details to list on eBay. Which was sad because I was really excited about doing it. And then the photography, he just made it look so hard. And it kind of was back then. We didn't have a smartphone then, and we were having to take pictures on a camera and then upload those to the computer, which of course you still can, but we just weren't well equipped to do it. At least it seemed hard to me, and I just kind of like, I don't want to do it, la la la. So, now here we are 6 years later. I'm sure you're thinking, well, what's changed? Especially if you're already an eBay seller, that the whole item specifics thing is a big deal that people are talking about. You have to add so many more required things about your listings and so many more recommended things you can add and all of that. Here's what's changed. over the years when I didn't want to do it, our oldest daughter, she was having a lot of brain surgeries and various things. She's doing much better right now. And I was working. I had 2 part-time jobs and, just a lot of things. Well, so now in 2021, I am retired, at least from my theme park job. I still do occasionally substitute at a school, but I haven't actually yet this school year, but I will. And so I still have that. I just am not actively doing much. And, Emily's better. And I have my things to sell have exponentially grown. Now, if you are into the reselling world and you have watched reseller videos, they call that their death pile. Well, that by that definition, I kind of have a death house because we have so many things all over our house that could be sold. And the more I watch other people's videos and their different areas of expertise, I've got some hidden gems that I think I will do really well with. But meanwhile, to get to them, I just need to sell off a few layers of things that we don't need, and I'm just getting excited about doing it. So my first several listing, no, okay, let me not get ahead of myself. So my husband started this eBay store several years ago. He started actively selling on in 2015, but it was probably a year or two more after that before we actually started a store, an eBay store. And I didn't really have anything to do with it other than occasionally I would acquire an item and I'd say, here, I got this, you could sell it. And then when he got it all packaged up and ready to go, I could drive it to the post office. That has been about the extent of my help with the eBay store. But he was getting about ready to quit, especially after one of the later changes requiring how they did their payouts. He didn't really want to give eBay access to our main bank account. But I have this little side account that I've had forever that I just use for random stuff. It's kind of my fun money. And occasionally if I have an odd job or something here or there, I'll put that money in there. And I said, well, why don't we use that account? And why don't I do eBay now? I'm retired. I'm in a better headspace for it now. Why don't I just do it? And he's like, okay. So a couple of weeks before September started, he gave me a tutorial and a refresher in how to do listings. We listed 2 cookbooks. I haven't sold them, but that's okay. At least, I learned how to do it. And so I set a goal that starting September 1st, I was going to list 5 things a day, 5 days a week. That is really the only goal that I set definitely for myself in September. And I've missed a couple of days, but so far I'm doing pretty good. It was easy the first couple of days because I just listed the stuff that I had already set aside on his pile that, I knew that I could get those listed. And then once I got those done, I started looking around thinking, oh, what am I going to list next? Well, several of the things that I know I have need sorting and, cleaning and just need attention. So the garage has just been a mess. And I thought before I can really get much more out to list, I've got to spend some time in the garage and do some cleaning. So we did that yesterday, and Randy went through all of the squirreled away shipping supplies, pulled those all out. He said, here's everything I've saved, use what you want. He earmarked some places where I can put the inventory now that I've listed it. And I'm basically just trying to work through the stuff that I've set aside to sell. A lot of it is just yard sale stuff, but I'm just kind of gleaning through that now that I know how to look up an item and search and see how much things have sold for, if things have sold, all of that. And I learned a lot of that just by watching YouTube videos. There's a huge network and community of resellers that source from all kinds of different places and sell on all kinds of different platforms. And I mentioned in an earlier video that I just kind of fell down a rabbit hole of watching a lot of those videos, and I've learned so much. So Anyway, and by the way, if any of you resellers have found this video, welcome. Thank you so much. I hope that you'll subscribe. I primarily do booktube videos, but I'm kind of starting this series now. I'm gonna do once a week a video about reselling and about just kind of my journey. I am not, I basically know nothing. I am just learning as I go, but I thought it would be fun to bring you along with me. So, let's go now. I'm gonna be brave, and I'm going to show you a few areas in my garage. I'm not quite ready to show you the outbuilding, the building we call the shop. Not quite ready to show you that yet, but I'll show you a few things out in the garage, and then I'm going to sit down at the table and I'm going to show you what I have listed, tell you about what I've sold so far and what's in our store. I will leave a link to our eBay store in the description if you want to visit it. I have been updating the stuff, kind of the mission statement or about us, and I made a new banner with both of our pictures, changed out the profile pictures, and now when, I know what I was going to say. There are, I think right now when I'm filming this, there's 115 items in our store. We have a starter store, so we are allowed 250 listings. When I took over, basically, there were 82 listings that Randy had listed. Some of those things were things I gave him to list, various books and things that I acquired from different places. So that was already on there, and we haven't listed, he had not listed anything that I can recall in over a year. So those things are all older, stagnant listings. Occasionally something will sell, but not much. It's just been kind of sitting there. And so as soon as I get us filled up to our max of 250, then I'm going to go back and take a look at all of those old listings and see if I can tweak those. See, if I need to change the prices. There are some watchers on some of them. I'll send out offers and see if I can get some interest generated in some of those things as well. Also, I learned just from reading some things the other day that I can publish a loyalty coupon. So I think I can put that in the description below. And if you will go to our store, you can follow our store, and then you will receive notifications when, I think monthly, you'll get notifications of what our new listings are. And there will be a coupon code that you can use when you shop from our store. So that'll be kind of a perk of me already having you guys as an audience. So thank you for doing that and checking that out. Now, there's a lot of random stuff in there. There are a lot of old books on there right now. The old books are the ones that Randy listed. Most of them are the ones that he listed already that have been on there a while. And I have listed just a lot of randomness. But like I said, I'm cleaning house. Whatever I get to, as I go through, I'm like, oh, I'll sell this. And so I take a picture and put it up. That's kind of my thought process right now. But eventually, once I get rid of all the extraneous stuff, our store will focus on 4 main categories. The things that I have that I know a little more about are the books, and also scrapbooking and crafting supplies, and ephemera. Now, if you don't know what ephemera is, I used to think it just meant paper, things made of paper, but I looked it up not too long ago, and it actually, to paraphrase the definition, it's paper things, or it's things and items that were meant to be thrown away. So like greeting cards and catalogs, postcards, pamphlets, brochures, that type of thing. I have a lot of that from my mom's years of teaching home economics. When I was going through all of her stuff, I found some of the coolest things, and I am just going to be excited to list a lot of those. A few things I got to keep for myself, but I have found quite a bit of really cool stuff. And also, because junk journaling is such a thing right now, and just journaling in general, and people who scrapbook, there are, a lot of the things that I have could be used for crafting. So anyway, I'm excited to get that stuff listed. And then the 4th category is hardware. I don't have anything to do with the hardware, but my husband got a wholesale lot of hardware several years ago, and he has listed only a small fraction of that. So at some point, once I kind of get the store going again, I think that he will be inspired to get back out there. The hardware is stored at another location, at some property where we have, and there's a barn there, and it's stored there. So I think that at some point he will be inspired to get the hardware going again. So that will be a thing in our store. So I hope you'll visit our store. Let's go now. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to show you a couple of the areas of the things that I already have set up, and then show you what I have listed so far in the first half of the month. Real quick before we go out to the other parts of the house, I thought I would show you what I just put up behind the door last night. You may have been able to see a sliver of it behind my shoulder in the other shot. This is just a calendar grid dry erase board that I bought for Katie, and then she decided that she wasn't going to use it, so it's been sitting out in the garage, and I brought it in here last night and decided to use it for tracking my listings and sales each day, just to kind of help keep me motivated. So I'm excited that I was able to put it to use, and I think it's going to be great. Okay, here we are in our living room. This is basically what I brought in from the garage yesterday to work on listing this week, including the little unit that has the drawers in it that's sitting in front of the china cabinet. That is some scrapbooking tools and things like that. And then the gray bin down on the floor are things that I listed yesterday. And then the set of drawers are mostly small miscellaneous things that I'll be able to make some lots out of. I'm not going to work on that first, but it was just in the garage getting dusty, and so I brought it in so that I can, make sure that it doesn't have dust and spiders and whatnot. There's a pile of clothes there that I gleaned from a box of clothes that was in the yard sale pile, and those are some brands that are selling on eBay. I don't know if those particular items will sell, but I figured why not give it a try. And then the other bins have scrapbook stuff. There's a bin there that has Barbies I need to go through. So this is basically my project for the week. So now I'm going to, down that hallway is the doorway into the garage, but I've already opened the big garage door. So I think I'm going to go outside and show you from the outside looking in what the garage looks like right now. Okay, so here is our garage, and if you had seen it before we worked in here yesterday, you would have seen a lot more stuff. In fact, Randy did a great job of corralling all the empty boxes. That's what is in that big white box there. So now I can go through and easily pull out boxes for shipping. Still have both the shop vac and the house vac in here. I didn't really do anything over on this side yesterday. This is sort of where I stash books. And very recently, we switched out all of the books that were in the little free library downtown. And I brought home the ones that we were taking out, because I want to go through them and see if there's anything that can be sold. And then I have just a lot of other books that have already come through our yard sale, but I just want to go through them one at a time and just see if there's any hidden gems in there before I get rid of those. So over here, this is my scrapbook stuff. Not my scrapbook stuff. This is the scrapbook stuff that a friend gave me that she didn't want anymore. She was not going to do scrapbooking anymore. And I've already taken some of it in the house, and there's a good bit of it still out here that's already sorted into various subject matter and item type and all of that. And then behind that is yard sale stuff. A lot of it was left over from our last yard sale, and I've added to it since then. The big white box there with the boombox is not for sale. The boombox I brought out here because we were jamming to the Footloose soundtrack yesterday and Wham. I mean, we were just having a 80s day. It was fun. But the white box is actually my wedding dress. It was stored under Katie's bed, and her cat sort of clawed up the outer box, and I realized that she was getting pretty close to the inner box, which is sealed. So for lack of a better place to put it, I just brought it out here until I can figure out a better place to put it. So Randy has those shelves there, and see up at the very top, he's got a bunch of extra shelves, and in the back, he's got some, what do you call that? Angle iron. So he's got enough angle iron for one set of shelves, and he's got enough shelves for 2 sets. So if you can get some more angle iron and make some more shelves, then the idea is that we clear out this stuff and put 2 shelving units here, like one on one wall and one on the other. We've got an attic space up there, so we have to be able to keep that open enough so that the attic stairs can drop down. And that's going to be where I will probably store eBay inventory. I really had the idea that we would put a freezer there, but for right now, we can use it for eBay inventory. I just am tired of all of this mess, because if I need to find something in the, bottom of the mess, there's no getting to it. But what he did give me in the meantime is this set of drawers right here. Let me move that. So this, I think, just is missing the door. I think it's supposed to have an outside thing. So I don't know if I could use it as a shelf, I guess. But he gave me these drawers, and I've already put a few small boxes in there. And I think one drawer already has some stuff of his, but then that is some vintage baby clothes, and I'm not going to list those yet until I find a few other items to go with that lot. But anyway, as soon as I show you the items I've already listed, I'm going to bring them out here and sort them into these drawers, and then according to item number, and then I will label the drawers so that when I sell something, I will know which drawer to come to pull it out. And I may or may not keep the empty boxes there, or maybe I'll put the empty boxes up there in this open space. That way I don't use the drawer space. But I don't want anything to get dusty, and that is the thing out here in the garage. It gets dusty, and the spiders have their way with them. Of course, the spiders are going to get to it, whether it's in or out, doesn't really matter. But this unit right here is eventually going to go in between the windows, as well as that other one that's behind that dolly. That's going to go somewhere there under the windows. So I've got to get all those books cleared out. The treadmill, Randy and Katie bought that not too long ago, and they used that. And then this elliptical we just bought for Emily not too long ago. She hasn't been out here lately, but this is going to be really good for her. Eventually, it's going to go to the back porch because I've got an old exercise bike out there. And my thought process is that she can do the elliptical while I do the exercise bike, and we'll have fun exercising together. So that's my project for this week. So let's go now to the kitchen, and I'm going to show you what I have listed so far. Okay, so here we are in our dining room. It is just connected to our kitchen. It's basically all one room. This right now is kind of multi-purpose. We do eat on the table, but a lot of times there's also a computer here so that, we can do work while we're here in the kitchen. So these cabinets here have kind of a multi-use function. It's mostly where we store small appliances, and some of Emily's school stuff is in here, and various things. I think that Randy even has a couple of boxes of car parts in here. But on the far side are some bins where he has the items that he listed on eBay before I took over. And if you go to our store, it's mostly the stuff that he listed was mostly books. There are some baskets, and those are some handmade baskets that he used to make with a friend of his, and we used to take them to craft fairs and whatnot. And he still has a few left. He doesn't make them anymore, but they're not stored in here. They're in another box that's in that is in through that door into our utility room. But anyway, let me go open these doors up, and I'll show you what's in. Okay, so the green bins, I think, is where he has most of his inventory, and the blue bin that's on the second shelf down, I think has some dishes. And I think down farther are some things that maybe are earmarked for eBay but aren't listed. So on top of that row of bins are the things that I have listed, like the first few things that I listed when I first started eBay. So those things are going to come out and get put out there in the garage in those drawers. So I'm going to get them out and show you the first things that I listed. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I have listed so far in our store. As I said, there are 85 or 82 items that were already there that I did not list, and so far they are just sitting, and once I get everything up to our max, then I'll go back and tweak those. One item that my husband did list that was sitting here on top of the crates is this beautiful Christmas Disney plate. It doesn't say what year it was from. It originally retailed for $18. It says, have a magical holiday season for decorative purposes only. Do not eat on it. But this is listed in our store. I'm not sure what it's listed for, but you know, if you see something that you are interested in, then you know, make us an offer, or you know, use the coupon code that you'll see in the description. If I forget to put that in there, please remind me. So the first two books that I listed when Randy was just helping me learn how to list are two keto cookbooks, because we used to do Atkins and now we are moving into more of a vegan, vegetarian eating plan, so I can give up my keto books. This is Quick Keto by Martina Slajarova. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, really, these were given to me as gifts, and I don't think I ever used them. I didn't cook anything out of them, so they're in like new condition. This is Keto in 28 by Michelle Hogan, and so if you are into keto or want to, then those are there on our store. And I will eventually list some Atkins books. I've got some Atkins cookbooks and diet books and things like that. So then, speaking of books, well, let me show you the mugs first, and then I'll get to the books and the other random things. So I cleaned out our cabinet recently, and I found these 4 mugs that I thought we could let go of. I used to have these Garfield mugs as a child, and eventually, in another clear out, I sold them at a yard sale. And after that, Katie and Emily both started really liking Garfield, and I said, oh, I used to have some Garfield mugs. And so I think we saw these somewhere, maybe at someone else's yard sale. It could have been mine that got recycled in somebody else's yard sale. I don't know. But Katie wanted them, and so we went ahead and got them. And now, you know, a few years later, she said, yeah, you can let those go. So there are actually several of these on that have sold, and they're really cute. They are from the 80s, and they were originally given out with coffee at McDonald's. So they are branded McDonald's, and they have Garfield and Odie and other friends. So those are on the store. And then I didn't know if anyone would be interested in this or not. This was my husband's, and he said he was fine with getting rid of it. But this is one of those little frog in cup mugs, and it's from Cedar Point. Randy said he got this when his family went to Cedar Point. He thinks he was about 12, but he's not sure. And that would have been in the 80s. He graduated from high school in 1987. So you can kind of do the math and figure that. So this is a vintage mug from Cedar Point, Ohio, amusement park in Ohio, with a cute little peekaboo frog. When I was a kid, our pastor and his wife had a collection of mugs, and we would go over to their house. Several of the youth would go to their house on Sunday nights or Wednesday nights, and we would play games. And I used to love their mug collection. And they had a mug that had a frog in it, and I was always just infatuated with it. So I was excited when I married Randy and realized that he had a mug with a frog in it. But we never use it. And at one point, we had a collection of mugs hanging on the wall like my pastor used to, but we've moved on from there, and I don't need these. So this is another one that never gets used, but it's a really nice scripture mug that has the plan of salvation in colors on it. And I didn't see one like it on there, but I just went ahead and listed it and you know, I figured someone might want it. If it doesn't sell, I'll eventually put it in our yard sale. I've got some other glass items. Do you guys remember home interior? I have a lot of home interior stuff that I have hanging on the walls with my mom's paintings. And these have been hanging in our bedroom, these little ceramic hearts. I have 3 of them. I had them strung together with a ribbon. And, you know, they've just been hanging there for all these years. And I thought, you know, it's time for a change. So I took them down, cleaned them up. They have a hole in the back and a hole in the top so that you can string them together. And so I listed those. Those are from the company Home Interiors. And this came from somewhere. It is a little model kit of a covered wagon. I think it came originally from Michael's. And it's a complete kit. It contains everything. And so I listed that. I used to collect stamps. In fact, I could probably put all my stamps on eBay as well. But this is a postcard. This was a series that was issued with various postage stamps on them. It's a puzzle. It's never been taken apart. It's never been worked. But it is sealed up like a postcard. It is starting to come apart a little bit, but it's still together. It's still whole. Oh no, I just accidentally took it apart. Anyway, I'll definitely put it in a baggie or something. But anyway, it's just a cute little puzzle that is based on a 15-cent Christmas stamp. This I found not that long ago, and this is so cool. This is a Wizard of Oz animated book, and I'm thinking, how can a book be animated? But it has this these little tabs, and the pieces move. It's so cute. I'm not sure how many animated pages there are, but I've looked at it closely. I don't see any tears in it. All the animations work. It is just the coolest thing, and it is definitely old. It's got a little bit of damage. That's a skint spot there, but anyway, all the animations work, and it's super cute. And another old book I have, I've already got it in a bag. Someone gave me this for the Little Free Library, or I got it in a load of books from a. Sometimes I'll just grab a stack of children's books whenever it's fill a bag, so that I can put children's books in the Little Free Library. Anyway, this is a first edition. It is, sorry, the dog is barking. It's It Could Always Be Worse by Margot Zemock, and it's a Yiddish folktale. And so this is hardcover children's book, and there were quite a few of these in softcover that have sold recently. I didn't see too many hardcovers, so I thought, well, you know, I would see. I'm gonna have to let the dogs in, or they're just gonna stand there at the door and keep barking. So I'm going to show you one little packet of items that I listed, and I actually had one watcher, but I decided to take these off. These are some things that I got from my mom's house. I've got actually 7 of them, and one's hanging on my bulletin board. My mom was a home ec teacher, and these buttons say home ec. It's the academic thing, and they're pinback buttons. They were made for... I don't know if someone made these in like an Oklahoma home economics teacher, and I don't know if they used them as a fundraiser or if they just sent them out to all the different FHA groups for promotional, purposes. I'm not really sure, but as you can see, they're a parody of Coca-Cola, and I thought I would just try to sell them, but then I got the idea because I have a few little trinkety things that were my dad's, and now my brother and sister both have grandchildren, and I thought it'd be fun to just make each of them. Right now there are 6 grandchildren. They each have, my sister has 2 and my brother has that would make 4, but I'm trying to think if he's actually just got 3 right now, and a couple of step grandchildren. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought it would be fun to make some little treasure boxes of some little odds and ends that belonged to those kids' great grandparents. And I knew once I let the dogs in, they were going to make noise. So I decided to take these back off because these definitely represent my mom. Also, my sister was a home ec teacher, so, you know, her grandsons would maybe, you know, think this is kind of cool to have something that represented her as well. So I decided to take those off. And plus, I was a little nervous because I did put in the description that these were Coca-Cola parody. And I didn't know if I would get in trouble for using the Coca-Cola name. But there is not really, you know, what I couldn't think of really any good keywords other than home economics teacher and pin back button. So, you know, I don't know. It was kind of weird. If you search on eBay home ec teacher, you usually get cookbooks because Favorite Recipes Press did cookbooks every year where they put recipes, they compiled recipes from home ec teachers and sold them, and then the home ec classes sold them as fundraisers. Anyway, all right, so this was something else I found. This is I guess a CD-ROM that goes with a textbook. And quite a few of these textbooks have sold, and I thought, well, I would just throw this up there. I don't have the textbook, but it's The American Democracy by Thomas Patterson, I believe is the name. This edition of the CD-ROM, yeah, Thomas J. Patterson, this is from 1999, so it's probably outdated. But, you know, I thought, well, if somebody's got the book and maybe it's missing its CD-ROM, they might be looking for that. So I'll just throw it up on there and see what happens. I've got 3 books here that are not listed because I want to go through all my old books out there and see if I have anything else that could go with them. We've got an Earl Stanley Gardner book. I've never heard of these, Lloyd C. Douglas and Alan Dipper. So these are kind of, this one is compared to like Ian Fleming, James Bond. So those are just sitting here waiting to see if I can find something else to go with them. But I have this set of the Destroyer series by Richard Sapir and Warren Murphy. And I just listed these. There's 9 books here, but really only 8 of them are vintage. And this one is newer. It's like number 139 in the series. And these range from book 12 to book 53. So I just listed these as 4 vintage paperbacks, and then I said in my description that I was throwing this one in for free. It's got a little bit of damage and a little bit of water damage, so, you know, I'm not going to get anything for that. So anyway, if you've ever heard of the Destroyer, those were some left over from a library sale, and I brought them home and just, you know, didn't know what to do with them. And then here's 3 books from the Travis McGee series by John D. MacDonald. I think one of them is book 2, and then the others are like 11 and 12 in that series. And then one of my subscribers sent me these a couple of years ago, and I just can't make them work for me, so I thought I would just list them. These are actually children's reading logs, and I'm just putting them together in one lot. They are really neat. This one has one little bit of damage, if you will. Someone took a die cut punch of a puzzle piece and cut it out of that one. But other than that, there's not anything written in it. There is one entry in one of the logs, but I've looked at it and scrutinized it carefully, and I really think it's printed in there as a sample, and now I can't even find it. Basically, you know, it's in very, very good condition. There's some stickers in the back, and the stickers are all there. And then this one has an elastic closure, and it's just basically a logbook where you can write what you read. So this just didn't fit for me because I don't know. I think I read too many books to fit. So I couldn't even fit a whole year in here. But this would be great for kids. All right, so that is everything that's here at the table. Let me go get the other stuff that I've listed, and I'll show it to you too. Okay, I think I have the rest of the stuff in here now. There's a handful of books, and then most of the other things are larger items, so that's why they didn't fit in the closet. And, you know, some of these things are super random, but when I set a goal to list 5 things a day, you know, I would get to the end of the day and think, what am I going to list today? Actually, I didn't wait till the end of the day. Most days I got up, and what I've been doing as far as my reading goals is not letting myself read past 8:30. I've gone over just a couple of times, but for the most part, I get up early and I do my devotional and my reading, you know, any nonfiction or whatever that I want to read. And then by 8:30, I am up, getting dressed, getting Emily's medicine, getting breakfast, so that by 9:30 or 10, I can get about the business of getting some listings done or doing some kind of housework or cleaning or something toward, you know, things that I need to get done. I can listen to audiobooks, but in days past, not years past, in days past, I would just, you know, sit around. Like if I was reading something that I wanted to read, I would just sit around and I would just read on and off all day and get nothing else done. So I'm trying to change that. Okay, so I have this Toy Story 4 lunchbox or tin. I don't know if to call this metal or tin, but it does not have any kind of a thermos, so it's just a lunchbox. We actually have 3 of these in our household, and I would probably be willing to sell 2 of them. This was given to us from Partners Federal Credit Union, which is the Disney cast member credit union. It's the same on both sides. It was a promotional item for people who were opening a new account when this promotion was going on. They usually have something that they're giving. Whenever you open a new account, whatever the promotion is, you get whatever that is. Well, when Toy Story 4 first came out, or when this promotion was going on, Katie was old enough to have a bank account, like for a minor, and she's still not 18 yet, so she still has that account, but it's a full bank account with debit card and everything, but it's sort of under our umbrella of accounts. But it was a new account, so I was with her when she opened the account, as well as her best friend and also Emily. So the branch manager was actually the one who helped us with the account and getting it open. So all 4 of us were in her office, and she gave us each a lunchbox. So Katie's friend was there, and she got her own, but mine and Emily's and Katie's are all still here. So this one's Katie's. She was willing to give it up, and Emily still has hers on the shelf, and mine is somewhere. I thought it was up there, but oh, it's in on the top of my shelves with some of my vintage toys and things, even though this is not a vintage toy. Anyway, so, yeah, this is in nice condition. It has never been used. It has just gathered dust on the shelf, but it could certainly be used for lunch. And this is a craft storage bag. My friend who gave me all the scrapbooking stuff gave me this bag with a bunch of stuff in it. And it's got, I think, like 11 different pockets, and zippered pockets and pockets with a flap. And it's just got a lot of pockets. It's got 5 interior pockets. It's in great shape. No tears. It's clean. I mean, there may be a little dust in the cracks, but I tried to clean it as best I could. So I couldn't find one exactly like this at all. I found it's unbranded. There is not a brand on here anywhere. I did find a zebra print one that is either listed currently or has sold. This is giraffe print, if you can't tell. And I have no idea what the brand is, but I like it. You know, if I wasn't just wanting to sell everything, I would probably keep it. But I have so many things. I used to sell Creative Memories, and I have a lot of scrapbook storage containers and organizers, so I don't really need that one, but it's pretty cool. All right, a few books, a couple of antique books. These were in the Little Free Library downtown, and they'd been sitting there for a while, and it was overcrowded, so I just went ahead and pulled these out. I also pulled out a Lassie book, but I think I want to read the Lassie book. This one is from a Disney series based on Annette Funicello. I think there's only a few of these. There's either 3 or 5 is all I could find. But anyway, Walt Disney's Annette. This is Mystery at Medicine Wheel, and it's a Whitman hardcover. So it's got a little bit of the plastic peeling, which is very typical for these old Whitman hardcovers. I forget when this was published, but it's in the listing. This is also not in great shape. Andersen's Fairy Tales. It's got a little bit of fading, and it's got a big dent in the back. That's the back. Where is it? Oh, we can't really see it, but it does have a dent. I tried to be real open in my listing that, you know, it's not in great shape, but it's still definitely readable, and, you know, it's a fun addition. And then this I found on my cookbook shelf, Glycemic Index Cooking Made Easy. And this was something else that I kind of toyed around with for Emily, trying to find her something that would sort of help reduce seizures. And so I never did really get very far in this one, but it's a nice book. It's been around a while. It's not new or anything, but there were a couple of them listed on eBay. I don't know if any of them had sold, but again, I was looking for things that I could get rid of, that I could list, because I had to meet my goal of 5 a day. So you may laugh at these. You know what these are? These are cassettes. Ta-da! This is books 2 through 5 of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series. Book 2, Tears of the Giraffe. Each of these is the whole book on 4 cassettes. This one is missing its little inner, no, it's 5 cassettes. This one's missing its little inner packaging, and I need to find a piece of styrofoam or something to fix that better. But here's what it's supposed to look like. Let me show you the right one, or one that's packaged properly. Anyway, it's a big box for a few little tapes. I mean, this is just basically a space filler. So anyway, Tears of the Giraffe is book 2. I think Morality for Beautiful Girls is this book 3. I did have them in order and then I messed it up. Anyway, Morality for Beautiful Girls, Kalahari Typing School for Men, and Full Cupboard of Life. I don't know if I have them in the right order, but anyway, so I was listing these and I was thinking, don't I have the first book? I thought, well, maybe I don't have it in, you know, in a cassette. But then I went through each box and looked through and made sure all the tapes were there, make sure the right ones were in the right box. And in one of them, there was an extra tape. And it was from book 1, and it was tape 5. And I thought, where did that come from? I don't remember that being there. So yesterday, I listed these several days ago. Just yesterday, when we were cleaning in the garage, I told you I didn't do anything with the books, but I happened to look over, and there's a clear bin that had some stuff in it. And look what was in that clear bin. Ta-da! Book 1. And guess what was missing? Tape 5. So yay, I put it in the box where it goes. I need to adjust the listing. I will just add this into the listing for the same money. I may have to raise the shipping because I'm not sure. I'll have to weigh these and see how much they're all going to weigh. But anyway, if you want some cassettes, these all work. I have listened to them all, and I just think it's fun. Yesterday, we got out the boombox and we were listening, you know, to music from the 80s, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with a good book on cassette. All right, so I've got some jigsaw puzzles here. I was not going to list this one, but I have a whole bag here. These were given to me by my friend that owns, not the flea market bookstore, but a different bookstore. And someone had given them to him. He does a lot of online sales, and he does a lot of books. And I just happened to be there on the right day, and he said, "Do you want this bag of puzzles?" And I was like, sure. He's like, "I don't know." He said, I don't want to mess with puzzles. And so I was like, okay. And at the time I was thinking maybe I would donate them to church because they're probably going to have a rummage sale one of these days. But when, again, back to my 5 things, my 5 goal, I was, you know, looking for something to list. And I thought, oh, let me check these puzzles. So most of these are from a brand called Buffalo. And there are a lot of Buffalo puzzles that get sold on eBay. This one is not a brand that had very much of a presence on eBay, but I just went ahead and listed it anyway. This is Art Gallery brand, and it is beautiful with the hot air balloons. All of these puzzles are 1,000 pieces. They've all been opened and worked, and then they are sealed again, and they say complete. I have not checked them, so I'm trusting that whoever put them together and then resealed them made sure that they were all there. Most of them are Buffalo, but then there are two from another company that's called, what? Cardinal. This one's called Rocks and Minerals. That's pretty. And then this one is called Succulent Love. It's a bunch of succulent plants, and then the heart-shaped one in the middle. All right, then the rest of these are Buffalo from some different lines. This is the only one from the Flights of Fantasy Glitter Edition line. It's Twilight Marketplace, so it's got unicorns. And then two from the Amy Stewart collection. This one is called Kitschy Cute. Again, these are all 1,000 piece puzzles that are marked complete. If you were to buy a puzzle and you get them, if there's a piece missing, make sure it's not under your floor, under your floor. Make sure it's not under your table first. And if you're sure that it's not there, then, definitely I'll give you money back. This is also from the Amy Stewart collection. Yard sale. That's fun. And then three, I got three in the bag from the Country Life line, and I am going to give one to my sister because it had something to do with quilting. I didn't bring it in here to show you, but it's going in her Christmas box probably. I'm only sending her books for her birthday, so anyway. So the other two though that I did list are, one is called Farmer's Market, cute, and then Antique Barn. I'm tempted to work these myself, but we have enough jigsaw puzzles. I love jigsaw puzzles. And if one falls on the floor and I don't notice it right away, Louie, Katie's dog, will have it chewed up. So I don't dare open these. I want these to be listed. Okay, then I have one bin left. I showed you in the living room. This is what I listed last night. Two of these things were from my friend who gave me all the scrapbook stuff. This came from her. And I am going to give her, she didn't ask me for anything, but I am going to give her back a percentage of the proceeds of whatever I can sell of her things. So this is a scrapbook kit that has an 8.5 by 8.5 album included, and some 6 sheets of double-sided paper and 4 sheets of stickers. And this is new in the package, sealed up, brand new, never been used, never been opened or anything. And this also is new, although it's not sealed. I did go through and count everything, and everything is here. This is, it even still has the little thing that it used to hang from. But it's a spiral bound book, and I guess you could actually leave it in here and use this. This could be your album, and you could put pictures on it. But it's got some beautiful pages. But after every 4, 5, 6 pages, there is a page that has stickers, and it's covered in plastic. So you could take the plastic off and use out of the stickers. And then there's also some, I guess this is punch out. One of them stickers and one of them is die cuts, and I'm not sure which is which. I don't want to mess this up. Actually, this might be the stickers, and this might be the die cuts, and maybe that's why they're in plastic. So I guess you could take out your stickers and die cuts, and then what you're left with are the scrapbook pages that you put your pictures on. Maybe that's how it's meant to be. Or you could just tear it out and put it in your own album, and, you could do it either way. Anyway, this is just called Disney Parks Deluxe Scrapbook Kit, and this is like new. Before I get to my biggest item, let me show you a couple of small things. Oh, yeah, and I'll show you a couple of things I'm going to be listing. So, a couple of things that, I think this maybe we got in our Christmas bag from Granny, my husband's mother, into that Christmas of 2018, and it's just been floating around. It is a jeweled calendar kit, and this one is Kittens on the Shelf. So I thought, is anybody going to want a calendar from 2018? But it's a craft kit that's got all this stuff. So I looked it up, and yes, there have recently sold kits from 2017, 2018, 2019. Maybe people get them and make them for maybe people who were born. So sorry about that. I was talking away, knowing that my phone was about to die and the camera quit working before I realized. Anyway, to finish that thought, and then I've got to wrap this up because I think I've gone over the amount of time that I can put in one video. I was just saying that I think maybe some people make them as, make calendars as gifts or give calendars as gifts for people who were maybe born in that year or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're selling, and I have this. It's sealed in a package, so I listed it. Same for this. This is still sealed in the package. I think I got this from my neighbor's house. When she passed away, her son gave me a lot of stuff that they were getting rid of. And they just pulled everything out, and they said, we don't want any of this. Take what you want. So this looks interesting, and it's called an Easy Punch Automatic Embroidery Machine. I don't know anything about it, but I decided I would put it in my yard sale. Well, it sat around because apparently no one else from here knows what to do with it either. But I looked it up on eBay last night, and several just like this have sold recently. So apparently someone out there knows what to do with it, and so I listed it. Coming up soon, I'm going to be listing these Chromex canisters. I have a set of 5, flour, sugar, coffee, tea, and grease that were my mom's, but the flour and sugar lids have broken in half. So I've got to try to repair them, and then of course I will disclose that they were broken and repaired. But these Chromex canisters, I think they're from the 50s. They can go for some big money. And I just, I had no idea. These were at my mom's house. They were, when I was young, I remember her using these. And then whenever the lids broke, I guess she got some new ones. And because she couldn't throw anything away, she stuck them out in one of the outbuildings, and there they sat. And I'm so glad I brought them home, because when I looked them up, I couldn't believe, the prices that some are going for. And speaking of not being able to believe what prices things are going for, my mother-in-law gave us this not too long ago, and we just use a manual can opener. We don't really even have space for a space maker, and I guess they don't make the space maker line anymore, but this is a space maker can opener. It's new in the package. It's not sealed, so I was able to look in it and make sure everything is there. In the box, these things are going for over $100, 130, 140, even 150. What? Are you kidding me? For a can opener? I listed this last night. I think I listed it for like $129.99, and there are some listed for more. So I tried to kind of come in, in the middle. But wow. So yeah. Anyway, if you need a can opener, did you have any idea that they were that expensive? Now you can get them out of the box, like used, for a lot less, but this is new in box, and wow. So yeah, that is what I have listed so far on eBay, and a couple of things that I'm still going to list. The next videos, I think, in this series will not be as long, because now I've given you my intro, and I'll just come on every week and show you what I've listed and maybe what I've sold. Oh, and did I tell you what I've sold? So I've sold 3 things. I sold The Guest List by Lucy Foley, which was a very good, like new condition, hardcover book that I had gotten from our library book sale shelf, and read it, for March Mystery Madness, and didn't like it, won't ever read it again. So I sold it, and it sold. And then the first 2 things, though, were a salt and pepper set, vintage Tupperware. It's called Midget Minis. So if you look on eBay, you can just type in Midget Mini Tupperware salt and pepper, and you'll see what they look like. They're real cute. They're just little salt and pepper shakers. And then I sold a video game for a Nintendo DS. It was one of Katie's. It was one that she didn't use much. She said that it was probably the last one she bought, kind of right at the end of her time that she played with her Nintendo DS. She still has it, and she still has all of her other games, and we'll probably sell those too. But that one was still in the box. It wasn't still sealed. She did play it a couple times, but it sold right away. So anyway, that is it for this first episode of Lizziefaye Sells on eBay. If you enjoyed this video, then I hope you'll come back and watch more. I hope you won't unsubscribe. If you're a BookTube subscriber, I definitely will continue to make BookTube content, but I just thought it would be fun to share with you what I'm doing with my days when I'm not reading. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.